The weather was perfect.
Cooperation.
Yes.
God was on your side. He was for you and made the
But
weather.
you know what? It was so good to meet the authors face to face. I have been working with them since August, I believe.
Hmm.
July or August. And you see their pictures. We had a Zoom. I got to see them on the Zoom. But when they came out on November 8th, bam, they did their thing.
Into that business, man, and all of them stepped from just being regular authors into award-winning authors. All right, and we're
Mhm.
so proud of them. And again, for those that didn't come this year, didn't see the event, next year's going to be bigger and better. So
Ooh, bro.
follow through.
I'm gonna let this cat out the bag
Get it
real
out.
early.
Get out
This is earlier than I've ever done.
hmm
We are going to be in Illinois in 2024. So we coming home, y'all.
All right, I'm glad you didn't say Illinois because there's going to be a lot of noise in Illinois when the Distinguished
I
Author
know
Guild.
they get mad when you put that S on the end.
I don't give a
They get
damn.
real mad.
I don't care.
But who heard of a silent S?
A lot of that stuff, but that's a whole different show when we start doing stuff like that. It's a whole different show when we start finding out that these cities and these states don't need these extra letters or either need to pronounce these letters. But anyway, man, again, we're celebrating the Distinguished Author Guild event as well as the authors that were there, presented their books, and
Mhm.
all of them are winners. Every single one of
Yes.
them are winners.
Yes.
All right.
I got to say this because the
Mhm.
readers gave me feedback. This is the first year that I had feedback from the readers that almost every single book that they read were good books. I mean, they really had a hard time choosing which books would be the award-winning books because all of them were so good.
And that's the thing, okay? You guys are writing these books, man, and I guess people say, "Oh, we can write a book." You got to write something that's meaningful, something that people can really grasp a hold of, and something that people can
Relate to.
visualize. They can visualize it without it being visual. You know.
Mhm.
So we are celebrating. We got two of the winners, two of the award-winning authors on the show tonight. Okay, first
Yes.
we have a young lady who does not know how to spell her own name,
Oh,
but
stop it. Stop it.
still, I said it one way, and she said no, it's with a E. So
You're gonna get in trouble.
she has a book. Well, she has many books, but she has one now called "Masking in Your Brokenness," uh, and that's Miss Sheena Gordine. What's going on, Sheena?
Nothing much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, yeah. And then we got this guy, man.
He said this
He's
guy.
guy. He works out. He's an evangelist. Or he's evangelist, right? Gina, help me out.
I know that he's a trainer, a personal trainer.
Personal.
He even brought an example of his work to the Distinguished Authors Guild, and I was standing there with my mouth wide open, like, wow. We'll see if he's an evangelist.
But he's also an award-winning author as well. This is my man, Sir McAdoo Haggins.
Uh, See, I'm not gonna get into correction. I'm not gonna get you to correct my name.
I didn't say it right.
Hagens.
That's what I said.
Okay, that's
No,
what it
no,
sounded like you said too. He
no.
Yeah.
said
He
it
did
right.
not say Hagens.
He said it right.
Carolyn Stevens says, congratulations to all of the awesome DAG winners, Distinguished
Yes.
Author Guilds winners. What's up, Marcella?
Hey, hi
Hey,
everyone. How are you
Marcy.
guys?
So yeah,
Doing
we got
well.
we got two of the winners on here today. We just want to find out their journey and find out how it felt to number one go and win this award, and what's in the future for them now that they've won the award. What's the process? Okay, start off with you, Shayna. What's going on with you? How did you get into writing books?
Actually, I've been writing poetry since I've been 12, and my first three books were actually poetry. So, being able to write poetry and to empower people and inspire them to, follow their dream and to use power in my words, why not give the gift that's keep on giving and walking in my purpose?
Say
Okay.
it, girl. Say
Okay.
it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you've been writing poetry, but you turned the poetry into just a whole novel, a whole book. Okay, what was the
Mhm.
process of changing that, or stopping the poetry? Not necessarily stopping the poetry, but changing it into something that's a little bit longer.
Well, it wasn't hard. I just added a lot of pieces into my poetry book. But the book that I won for, I was actually the visionary of a project. And that's what Master and Brokenness was. It was actually about me being a visionary and giving people a space to tell a story. Because a lot of times we mask through a lot of things. And that's why they call me the lady behind the mask. Because I tend to teach people how to unmask themselves and become a better version of themselves.
Mm.
Okay, what's that award at? You're supposed to have that award on hand right now.
It's on the mantle.
Show it off,
It's on
man.
the mantle. It's on the mantle. It's a long. It's over here. I don't want to mess it up. It's pretty. I don't want it to break it. I don't want to break it. It's pretty, and it got a purple diamond, which is my favorite color. So
It is a purple diamond.
Multicolor.
That's great. Okay, and it you might want to make room for some more. Okay, keep on writing like that.
oh,
Mm.
listen, absolutely. I need to get a shelf. I got so many.
That's
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
you did win a couple of more, right?
I have. I've won tremendous awards. I can't even count anymore with the accolades. But a lot of times, it's not even about the awards. It's about the privilege of being able to give back to
Mm.
people that's
Right.
been through domestic violence. Because part of my mission is being able to help them master their brokenness and be able to speak out on who they are and be a better version of themselves after going through trauma.
Hmm, okay.
It's
And
good.
I
That's
heard
good.
your story. I know you were on a couple of other podcasts, and I heard your story, and it's a one of strength and
Mm.
endurance.
Absolutely. Not too long ago, I was actually on the Channel 6 News. So it was like crazy being
Yes.
able to go to the community event that was called Take the Night Back by the YWCA and, had the news station looking for me. That
Mm,
made, that's like, oh, well, that means I'm putting out the right power and
that's
walking
right.
in the right purpose. And
Mhm.
so being able to write masking in your brokenness and giving people the room to be as powerful as they are with their words and being able them to give them the space to empower other people with their stories is an awesome and
Mm,
amazing journey.
I
Mhm.
agree. I agree. You do a lot though. I know you had
I do.
the um what was it? The homeless drive or the
I did the back to school drive, which
back to school
I got to
drive?
serve 4 shelters and 21 kids. I
Well,
am now
Wow.
doing the Smile for Christmas for the children. I want to be able to bless the 4 shelters and the 21 kids. But I also have my podcast that's called The Power in Your Voice. I also am a speaker and I go to the shelters as well once a month. I have 5 shelters that I work with that I go there once a month and do workshops with the ladies that is there.
Mm.
And then I advocate along with that for my chronic illness that I do as well.
Man,
now I
you
gotta
talking about giving back.
I
Yeah.
gotta say something though. So Shayna, if you can remember, you've been on the show before,
Yes, I've been on the show a couple times.
and when you won that first award, you stayed on with us after the show, and you talked about a couple of things, and we told you just keep going, push that, okay? Next week she had a podcast. She was out there.
But
She was doing all of this stuff. Okay,
bro, her podcast is over in Africa, right?
Well, I have the podcast, but then I have the radio station that I work with out of Nigeria as well.
So
all right.
she
That's
reaching
called HO.
across.
It's called HOD Radio out in Nigeria.
And she wasn't doing nothing.
No, I was doing something when you met me. I actually might have didn't have the podcast yet, but I was already in about 20 anthologies myself, and I was already 3 books in.
Mm,
Jana,
mm.
what area do you live in? Do you mind me
I
asking?
I stay in upstate New York in Troy,
Okay. Okay.
Can't you tell
Ain't
from your
that?
accent? You
but
can
I'm
tell.
originally from South Carolina,
No,
the
I
big
don't
city
really
of
hear
across.
the I
Look,
don't really
the
hear the
big
New
I'm
city
York.
glad
across
you.
South Carolina.
I hear it because at the beginning she said nothing without the H.
Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing.
So
Okay. Okay.
Sir
the
Hagen,
true sign for New Yorkers is the word coffee.
How do they say it?
coffee.
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 You-
You know what? My cousin does say it that way. Come think about it. Coffee. Yeah.
Sir
I don't
Hagen,
drink it.
Sir Hagen, what's going on?
Trying to keep up with you, brother.
Man, look, I gotta keep up with you.
Man, I'm trying to keep up with me.
There we go. There we go. Hey, tell us your journey, man. Tell us what got you started.
Man, I go. How far back you want to go? It's just it's been a long road. I didn't write the tell-all book yet.
You need to, because I know your story too.
Yeah, I read a little bit about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just come from the hard streets of Boston, and I would do the domestic violence myself, and after the molestation, that was from 8 to 13. In between, I wanted to I wanted to do business, and I wanted to do business. Because nobody was really paying attention to me, and so I realized that at a young age you need money to make things happen. Because the ones that had the money was the ones that was calling shots. So I realized that, at age 10, I started hustling and doing my thing and selling candy and taking out trash for neighbors. And I was just doing a lot of different things. And then at 13, I just couldn't take it anymore. And I just wanted to commit suicide. And I'm just so glad I didn't, and once I realized that I didn't kill myself, I realized, okay, I can really win in economics. That's one of the reasons why I wrote this book, to really enhance people's their mindset. They say, you know what? If that little kid could do it, I could do it. And I created those principles in that book that are being taught today, but they're so simple that if you have children or grandchildren, even if you don't, if you just have children around you or nieces and nephews, or you're part of an organization, we can nip at poverty. And our next wave of business owners, because of the lifestyle I lived with my mother and my sisters and cousins, I mean, we really, it was a really like a rugrat existence. It really was. And it was poverty, really. I mean, that's nothing proprietary. But once I realized how it was changing my life and I could just deal with things, that's why I created those systems, so I could be able to function at a higher level. And the most people that read this book, they're gonna feel the same way. Yep. Exactly.
So basically, you're giving a master class in life, right?
Yeah, especially around simplicity of business. I mean, people that are already in business, most of them will tell you, I didn't really have a system. I really didn't have this. I really didn't have that. Well, you have it now, and you can take those 5 principles and inject it into your system, and you'll see that you'll say, man, this is stuff that I need now. I can give it to my children or my grandchildren, whatever. But shoot, I need it too. And I believe that all parents and parents that care about their children want to be entrepreneurs, because there's a lot of parents and grandparents that are not into that entrepreneurial stuff. And I understand. I really do. I mean, that was the hand that you were dealt. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that through the sound of my voice that and by the sound of my voice, get a book and read it and give a book to somebody in your family that if you want to help with poverty and mental and financial depression as well, because a lot of people don't understand how close depression is connected, how much the depression is connected to economics, and people that struggle financially. I mean, they really go through a lot, and people that go through a lot of different things, what happens, they end up doing things they really don't want to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they say, I wouldn't, if I had money, I wouldn't have done that. So the next wave of business owners is going to be ex-convicts, ex-prostitutes, ex-gangbangers, ex-drug dealers, ex-drug users. because there's nowhere else to go. The revolution will be televised. It hasn't been televised that the financial revolution, a bold new movement for financial improvement, it really has to happen now. We don't have the luxury to wait another 20, 25 years with this window of these children, these young youth and young adults have created this bubble for us, which is technology, because a lot of us older people don't really understand all of the technology, and they don't either, but they know way more than we do. And the one thing that we have is more of common sense and history, and and already went through the trials, and a lot of the trials and tribulations was, they want to know what happened back then. And this is our time, and this is our turn. And if you really do have children, and any kind of children around you, or youth and young adults, you really need to invest. Don't buy a book, invest in it.
Now you said you had to deal with the hand, play with the hand that you dealt. Okay, but a lot of times, especially in situations, you can draw another card. You don't have to play that hand. All right. So I mean, that's the thing that we have to understand and realize, that we can change the
narrative,
everything. All right, Marcia, you have a question?
Huh?
She's on mute. She'll be all right.
Sorry. Okay. So how do you want me, first of all, to call you Sir Markadu, or
Sir Markadu is good.
Okay. So Sir Markadu, what do you do giving back into the community? Have you do you go out and speak to youth, because that's where we need to kind of start a lot of this? And if you do, I have a friend who has a book out, and it's more of a journal of self-improvement. And I know we have to know what our worth and our value is, but something that he recently did, he gets paid a lot. And what he did was, instead of paying me, let's say half, he was going to be speaking to 200 youth rather, not children, but youth, more so teens. And he's like, I want to invest back into that community where I came from, where there's a lot of poverty and self-improvement. And so for half of my salary, to give the books in its place. What are some of the things that you do to give back to the impoverished communities?
Well, most of it's value for value. Is I communicate, I do speak.
Okay.
I mean, it's been a while since I've done it, but I mean, I have plenty of videos out there, and even my son and people I know, they say, why do you do it like that? Why do you give away so much information that is not mine to keep? So it's easier. So, there's a thing that back in the day, and it goes like this: the story to be sold, not told. And I don't believe that. The story to be told, then sold. Because once I begin to speak about the things that are tragedy in my life, people can understand. They can come closer to me, gravitate towards me. Now they're willing to listen, and then they'll be willing to pay later.
Yeah, because they see in you themselves, and and you give them strength and encouragement that you've gone through, so many different things, and these are some of the things we're going through, and look at where you are and what you're doing, and then we can do it as well.
Do you do a virtual? Do you do a virtual with all these kids and stuff? Is that what it was? A virtual?
My friend, no, he actually goes out and speak.
Okay.
And speak.
Because
he does have videos and things of that nature as well.
Okay.
But there's a new book out, and so we were just chatting, and he was like, you know what? I need to give back because everyone can't afford my book.
Yes.
And some of these people, the youth, they need this. And it was, like I said, it's like a journal, but a self-improvement journal.
Yes.
That's important, okay, because sometimes, and Marcy's right, you have so much information and people pay for it, but there's some people that aren't able to pay. You got to give back to the community. Okay, Jeannie, you had a question.
Yeah.
This question is for both Mark and Shayna. What was the turning point that made you realize I need to put this information in a book so that I can get it out to the masses?
That's a good question. Shayna, let's start
Real
with you.
good.
Well, my turning point was me actually going through domestic violence and me going through the program. And as I see them go through it, they still was dealing with the frustration, the anger. They still was holding a lot of baggage from their trauma. And I decided I didn't want to be like that. So how could I change and
Mm.
make them see themselves different and worthy and know that they deserve to heal? So I figured, well, why not take the poems that I wrote during my trials and tribulations to empower them that you can cry, you can be sad, you can be happy, but what's next? What are you going to do to turn that trauma into a beautiful butterfly? Because I
Mm.
have a tattoo on me that's called From Tragedy to Triumph. And my goal was to be able to turn people from their tragedy to their triumph, to give them the power to know that they're worthy, to give them the power to know that they matter, to give them the power to know that I can stand here unapologetically, take my mask off, and be comfortable in my own skin.
Girl, go ahead.
Listen to y'all.
I used to work with DV clients, and so I know exactly what she's saying. And I met a client, but the week before last, a DV client, and so I know, like I said, I know exactly what she's saying. And for you to be able to, for your coming out, like I said with Sir Markadu, you're coming out of that. You came out of it, and that really encourages others to see that, wow, I can actually come out of this, and look at you and look at what you're doing. And when people come out of DV or they go through the different programs, they are actually taught to journal.
Right.
Marcy, say domestic violence. Everybody don't know what DV mean. Come
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry.
Domestic violence.
Domestic violence. I'm sorry. Shop talk. Sorry.
Yeah,
I thought you
it's
was
a
talking
habit.
about the DMV where you go get your
Yeah.
license.
Fun
It's
one,
domestic
fun one.
violence.
But
Same
but
question,
but definitely, like, and how you did your book, and that's something that others can do, because you're really, both of you,
Same
truly
question,
helping others.
Sir Hayes.
Same question. Well, I think it would have been all the years of people just badgering me. That's why I did it. You know, you gotta put that on a book. You gotta put it in a book, and so it just happened, and I realized that you know, and I been knew that economics was the only like economic evangelism movement had never happened. I know it never happened. We never had a renaissance of the economy. It never happened where the church, the bridging the church, the business community, and grassroots, which is the organizations. And you know, once I realized that I could help be a piece of the puzzle of solving some things internationally, not just local but global. That's when I decided to do it, and then to redo it. And if I have to redo it again, I'll redo it again. But the next book is going to be The Heart of a Hustler. So,
I think it's necessary that you guys are doing what you do. Like I said, I can't do it. I mean, I could do it. I'm not never gonna say can't, but I you know, I don't want to take the time to do it. And you guys have the time, you have the thought pattern to go ahead and make it happen. Okay, I can't do it.
Ghostwriter.
Jeannie, you had a question.
Yeah, Mark, tell me. I'm interested in know how you're bridging it with the church.
oh well, that's a very good question. The thing is that that I realized that the church is made up of a lot of different people. The church people, business-minded people in there, and even organization leaders go to church, but they don't work together as a holistic community to bring about, because they don't know. If they know what they know, but they don't know that it needs to be a connection. We're bringing it all together, where you got some kids in the hood, because the street organizations know what's going on in the streets. They know a lot of the organizations, a lot of these kids don't go to church, but a lot of these kids know how to sell stuff: weed, coke, drugs.
Say that.
Their bodies so they know how to sell stuff, but it
That's
never
business.
presented to them. It never been presented to our public, to a holistic public, that it's all right to be in business. Get your children into business while you have a chance. This is your only chance to do it while you're alive. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote this book, to really prove that there are some simple Simon systems that when you read this, oh man, I can apply this to my own life. It's there. It's there. So I did, as a nation, as a group of people, I believe that the church is the #1 community impact center in all of the whole wide world. The church is the #1 community impact center on the face of the earth, and we need to be able to merge and bond from the street to the church. We can do it. It's going to take some time, but we're going to do it.
We can do it. We can do it. We're talking with Sir Markadu Higgins and Miss Sheena with an E Gordine. All right, they are award-winning authors from the Distinguished Authors Guild Award Show, and they're out there doing their thing right now and spreading the word. Spreading the word that #1, you can do it too, and #2, if you do it, have some meaning to it, have some basis. Give back, So
I would like to say this, and before if y'all have access to any youth or young adult, if you got them in a room, I want you to do yourself a favor. Just ask them all. Say, who in here? Raise your hand. Who in here would like to have their own business and be their own boss? Raise your hand and watch how many of them do it. What's the first question they're going to ask you?
How much money can you make?
What I got to do? Well, they're going to say, what I got to do? I'm ready. These kids, we did, especially with women organizations, they got these organizations, these young kid organizations, but there's no real economics tied to these organizations. If you got a women's group, I guarantee you, out of 10 women, 7 to 8 of them will go right into business right away. But you say, would you read this book? If I can help you start your own business, would you read this book? And it's easier to now tie into the business community. To deal with business people, say, hey, we got somebody that wants to be a beautician. It is easier to connect those black dots.
So let me ask you guys. First of all, well, I got 2 questions, all right? And if anybody else want to interject with a question, that's fine. The first question is, how much pushback have you guys gotten from people as you were going through your journey? How many people, did not support you, and did that non-support kind of dissuade you in any way? I know that we see the end result, but at that point, did it kind of make you say, well, man, maybe they're right?
You want to go first? Or you want...
Don't make a difference.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay, listen. The world is an unforgiving place. The planet Earth is unforgiving. Then people go always trying to run you down. They're always going to talk about you if you're doing well or you're doing bad. It don't matter. The thing is, that's the way the game is played. If you don't like playing the game, I tell people, just die, because this is the way the game is played. All people don't want to see you do well. So if you know there's a power like God on your side, there's nothing you won't want to do. And this is what I bring into these young folk. I said, listen, there's one person that's really on your side, and that's God. And you take it from there. But you gotta build that relationship. And once you build that relationship, and I tell them my story, I said, if I can do it, you can do it.
There you go.
So, the people are there to stop you. So then that's called, evil or the devil. Evil is just a holistic thing. The devil is that person right next to you, just whispering in your ear, talking about you wasting your time. Don't do it. Like I had people do that to me. They tell me I'm wasting my time getting into the body oils and the burning oils because the market's flooded. But the first thing came in my mind, I said, the market's flooded. I said, that's great. That means I don't have to work there. All I have to do is have great customer service and a great product.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go. Sheena, what about you?
Well, during this process, I learned that there's people that's for you and there's people that's against you. And not everybody's going to support you and not everybody deserves to sit at your table. So
Mm.
I've learned that what my story and my testimony is attached to the people that's who it is for my tribe. And I've learned that family are not the ones that are going to be the ones that you see
Ooh.
support you. So I've learned that who is for my brand and for my message will be attached to me. And irregardless on who it's for, I'm not for everybody, and it's okay.
I agree with you totally on that one, man. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
for everybody, and I'm cool with that, okay? Because I'm gonna skip to the next person. I'll be for them, no problem.
Yeah.
The second question I had though was this: have you guys, as your success comes with writing these books, have you guys ever thought about taking it to the next step and making it visual, making your books visual?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, just that. That's it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I thought about it. It's about getting the support and the financial thing about it. So, right now, as far as me visualizing my story, I did a documentary back in 2020, which is called Through Your Eyes, The Mask Behind the Mask. And I had about 10 to 6, maybe 6 to 10 people that speak about domestic violence. And I also allowed my daughter to tell her part of seeing me as a mother dealing with domestic violence. So those are my visuals right now until I can get the funding or grants to be able to make it a lot more visual. So I've got that, but other than that, that's the closest to visual I've gotten. Besides also putting it in words, I did an album which is
Mhm.
called I Was Always a Rose in the Darkness of Love. So I tap people through their ears, through their eyes, and hey, whatever's next is the movie.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, I'm in the same space. I mean, you know, if you, I could only tell you almost the sweetness of the dark side. You know, if I really start really telling you some of the other things, I mean, I had like my pastor. He said your story is nothing proprietary really about it, but the way I deliver it it brings the power because to be able like the sister just said about her child seeing it. I seen some stuff I ain't supposed to see. I ain't supposed to see that. And then I'm not
Mhm.
proprietary about it. It's nothing proprietary about it. But a lot of children see things they don't supposed to see. And they just end up growing up seeing it, and it affected me in ways that I didn't realize it would do
Mhm.
something to me later. I went through two major bouts of depression in my lifetime, and I'm just coming out of one of them.
Mhm.
So it because depression is real. It's a fight that it just seems like you know it's something you have to go through because evil don't let you rest all the time. We rest in the Lord, and it's great. But at nighttime, when you're by yourself and you're sleeping there, and when those demons start creeping in, they creep, and
Those thoughts.
you
Yeah.
call on God. You call on God. Yes, please call on God. But evil has its way, and those demons are creeping in, and you have to deal with them. I call it management. You have to manage it.
Okay. Marcy, you had a question.
Yeah. Sir Markedu, you said the sweetness of the dark side.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you kind of explain that? That's a movie, that's a book, and a sermon. That right there would preach all on its own. Can you break that down a little bit, please?
There's some is okay. As crazy as a lot of the people in my life were, leaving my mama. My mother was just before I was getting ready to commit suicide. The last thing I heard was I should have flushed your ass down the toilet when I had a chance. So this is
Jesus.
my mama,
Mm.
my number one woman in my life to protect me. Is the sweet. That's the dark side of the sweetness. I mean, I love my mother all the way to the day she died. So I mean, she after I realized that I didn't commit suicide, she said that to me one more time, and I let her have it in a nice way. right? I let her have it. I said, Mom, you didn't flush me down the toilet. So why do you keep saying that? You can't flush me now. And she never said it again.
Mm.
So that's that dark side with that sweetness and everything, you know. You know, you're in a relationship, and there's the sweet part, and then there's the sour part, the crazy part, and you're trying to do all that darkness. You see sweetness. You still see the sweet, even though you might be getting your ass whooped every day,
Wow.
every day. But you still something about that man or that woman, because the woman could be whooping his ass. So he's still in love with her, and they remember the sweet parts of that relationship. Take the bitter with the sweet.
Take the bitter with the sweet. There you go. Sheena, let me ask you, piggybacking off of that, you had a difficult life as well, all right? Has that, when you're writing your books, when that stuff pops up, I mean, how does that make you feel?
You know, after glowing through my growth, I've learned to manage it. Like I used to fight in my sleep.
Word.
I used to deal with the trauma, but I've told my story so much and went to therapy and healed through it. I call it my glow up after the grow up. And
Yeah.
I've learned to glow through my growth and take everything as a lesson and be able to teach people how to heal after their trauma, being able to manage that depression or that anxiety and remember that I am worthy and I'm deserving to be where I am. And evidently, I went through a tragedy, but it really wasn't for me. I have people that's attached to this story and needs to be healed through it. So I've learned to use the word dope, which is dedicated to other people empowerment. You'll learn to use the word heal, which is helping to empowering amazing lives. So my scars is actually for somebody else's testimony
Woo.
regardless of how bad it was.
Yeah. That's powerful stuff.
Yeah, it is,
That
man.
powerful stuff, and you know, even with on my side of it, sister Shayna, you know, the second bout with depression, really, it was tough on me. I didn't think I would ever go through depression again. Like you said, I think everything I went through, I'm going to take that pain and make it turn into my purpose. I'm going to take that purpose, I'm going to turn it into profits. Okay. So when I lost three of my brothers, five of us, I lost three of my brothers, and it didn't seem that bad because we weren't really super close. We were close, you know, we brothers, but we weren't really close. And I had my sister, my father, my mother, my sister, and I was good. I was functioning at a high level. Okay, and then my father died in 016. And I said, wow, I didn't even really mourn well about it. Because I think I accepted it as I'd known him. We got a chance to live with each other and deal with each other. And we had a happy life. And I remember that part. But he was the one that said, no matter, one day you're going to change the world, son. I love you and you're going to change the world. But 8 months later, because I had my aunt and my mother and my sister, 8 months later, my mother died. And I said, wow, this is different, right? But I didn't really mourn. I didn't get it in there because I still had my sister left. And 5 months later, my sister died. I lost my mother, my father, all my siblings gone. And I was still in my 50s. So I wasn't able to reach out to them, but it didn't hit me till 5 or 6 years later. And this is why I want my piece to the world is things like this is going to happen. Get around people that understand that it happened to them and they understand management skills. Because you do not want to go so deep in depression that you can't function. And you could be on top of your game, which I was, and I got off my game. I mean, that depression hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm just working my way out of it. I love being alive. I love knowing that God's going to use me on another dimension. I was down here. I almost lost everything. but I could feel God just saying, come back up, my son. I got you. I'm
Gotcha.
going to take you to the next place. Yeah, but I gotta help His people. Without help, I'll never get what I want until I give God what He wants.
Wow.
Absolutely. So we're talking again with two of the winners from the Distinguished Authors Guild's award show that happened on November the 8th. All right. And just so you guys know what you missed,
Let's see.
so you know what you missed,
He knew.
we want to run, and we're going to run this every day that we're airing, because we're celebrating the Distinguished Author Guild award winners this week. We're going to play this, let you see who won. And, if you got any information or you want to get information about these authors, go to their respective pages and, holler at them. Okay. But here's a list of the award winners. All right. Y'all check this out.
Ooh.
Those were the winners of the Distinguished Author Guild Award celebration in Las Vegas. All right, uh, it happened November the 8th, and it's going to be huge next year too. So,
Hmm.
well, with you guys doing what you've done, how has the award show, the Distinguished Author Guild, helped you, or what did you think about it?
I'll say, Gina, you did a great job.
Thank you.
You're a great host. I also want to say, there she, I just get ready to say your name, Dr. Carolyn. She did a lot to help a lot of people through this. I mean, she needs to get her big up. She helped a lot of
Yes, she
people.
was awesome.
And a lot of people, the quiet ones, sometimes don't get all the accolades and all that. But she should have had you should have had an award for her too, for just an outstanding helper. I mean, she is
Mm.
a blessing,
Yes.
open, and she a blessing in disguise as
Yes,
well.
she is.
Yeah, but the award is helping still people to understand that there was that I wrote something. There was a connection that to be awarded something. I mean, I played sports. I got trophies. I got awards, most valuable player, all that stuff, all of the accolades. But there's
Mhm.
still to be able to get something for something you've done and get awarded for it. It's a win-win-win situation. You know, you win, the community wins, and God is definitely the winner, the biggest winner. Yep.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Shayna, Shayna.
Well, as always, it's been a pleasure, always working with Gina because this is what 3 years in now.
Yes.
So to be able to network, expand the brand, collaborate, and just the work that they do is awesome. Like I love it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be in Vegas, but it was an honor to be nominated and be the
Mhm.
winner of this award because I actually have people reaching out. Oh, when is this awarded? I said, well, when I get the information when it opens, I'll let you know so that you can get your book in there. So
Mhm.
basically, it's now people coming to me like, oh, how can I get involved? So
Oh,
just
Very,
being
awesome.
connected.
Awesome.
And
that is
it's always a pleasure being connected to Carol because that's my other mama. So y'all are a blessing, and it's always Knows greatness.
You have a program on the network, right, Sheena?
Yes, I do.
BHC Media Group. So
BAC.
you
Yep.
guys can go to BHC Media
BC.
Group and
Yeah.
see. I mean, she is doing such a. I watch it all the time. You're doing such a wonderful job on there.
Thank you.
That's
So
wonderful.
go ahead.
No, that's wonderful because I had said even to Gina, I said, Gina, I said I want to help you get your organization out there a little bit more. Didn't I, Gina?
Yes,
I said
yes.
no.
And
I said
we have to
go
connect. When I
ahead.
get back from Hawaii, we definitely going to
Yeah,
connect.
yeah. So I mean, it's important that we all be a piece, a
Hmm.
part of something.
Mm-hmm.
Try to make it big as possible. You
Yes.
know, and we look and we see things, and let's help. You know, we can say here we go, or we can say here we grow.
Yes.
Mm.
There
And
we
that's
go.
a good point, Mark, because that is the whole premise, is to bring this community together. We have now probably over 150 authors that are networking with each other, helping each other, doing different things to elevate each other. And that's what it's all about. It's not just
Mm.
about me, 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 me. It's about
Mm-hmm.
us as a whole. That's the only
Yeah,
way
yeah,
we're going to elevate.
yeah. We. Yeah,
That's right.
And see,
yeah.
Gina,
Well,
Oui.
that was going to be my next question, Gina, and it was going to be to you. Okay, you know, you developed this some years ago, and in your opinion, do you think it's doing what it's, or has it gone to the level that you wanted it to get to?
Oh, not yet at all. Definitely not yet, but it's going to. And
Amen.
2024 is going to be so fantastic. It's going to be, this is our year of elevation. 2024 is going to be our year of elevation.
Yeah, I'm
This
singing. I'm singing this time.
is, you
Oh
see,
no.
I might have him on stage. He can do a little bit
I'm
of
gonna be on stage. Look,
we're
look.
gonna be outside.
Just to interject, Gina. Okay, this year, for everyone that's involved, everyone that's sending in their books and this and that, we have started already planning next year. All right. As soon as Gina was done, I called her and said, Gina, what do we got to do to make it better next year? Okay, not that it was bad, but what do we got to do to make it better next year? Okay,
bigger.
and
That's the
she
key
told
word,
me
bigger.
Getting better.
that she's going to move to Chicago first of all. I said, okay, you sure you want to do that? She said, yes. All right. And when she says yes and definitively like that, I know that she means what she says.
I
Okay.
pray on it. I
So
pray on it. And when it drops in my spirit, I move the direction God tell me to move.
Amen.
we're gonna
Listen
have
to the Holy Ghost.
we're gonna have sponsors. We're gonna have banners on there with the sponsors on there. Okay. We're gonna have some big things going on. I'm telling you. Okay. And you guys, if you didn't
Bring it on home.
go to Vegas, all right, with all the lights, glamour, glitz, and this, okay, we're gonna bring Vegas back to Chicago. It's gonna happen, all right. And I'm telling you, from my viewpoint as a producer, man, it's gonna be bananas. I'm telling you, it's gonna be dope.
Dope. That's dope living.
Yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
and you know what? If you haven't viewed or if you haven't been able to view the show from Vegas, go to the DAG Facebook page, Distinguished Authors Guild. Go to the Distinguished Authors Guild Facebook page. All of the shows are there from 2021 up into 2020. I'm sorry, from 2020 up into 2023. You're able to see it. We started off virtual. So I can't say we haven't grown because we started off as a virtual show
Sure
for the
did.
first 2 years. And after that, we moved out to Vegas for the next 2 years. And now we're getting ready to move over to Chicago. And who knows where else we're going to end up? We
LA.
may end up in your city.
And people
So
would think doing it virtual is easier than doing it live. I'm here to tell you the ground roots from the virtual is harder. It is much harder to
yes,
do than doing it live. Number one, we don't get a chance to mingle with the people. Number one, all right.
right.
That's the most important part, I think, of the
Yeah,
Distinguished
people.
Authors Guild. It's bringing
Mhm.
people together, it's bringing
Yes.
families together, and it's creating new families with a group of authors that don't get the recognition that they deserve. All right, she's put together a show of recognition for those authors, all right, because people are not seeing these authors all the time. She's putting them on a platform so that people can see them, all right. And I'm telling you, next year that platform gonna be huge, y'all. If y'all not, Woo, if y'all not down with the Distinguished Authors Guild,
Ooh, I'm
someone,
excited thinking about it.
someone's fun. So I'm encouraging everyone, write your books.
And you know what I love? I
Mhm.
love the fact that 2024, every year, we go back and we remind everyone of the authors that were award winners the previous year. They
Mm,
get their accolades once again. We're not going to let them be forgotten.
yeah.
Right.
We make sure that everyone knows, hey, these were our past winners and they are still doing their thing.
Absolutely. Marcy, you
Mhm.
want to say something?
Oh, you want me to close us out?
I just asked if you want to say something.
Okay. I'll close us out then, or whatever. Um, hey, these two authors have shown that when you're going through a storm, that's exactly what you're doing. You're going through. If you need to write things down, um, put it into a journal, make it into a book. Don't just sit there with what you're going through. Help others, pull them out. Once you come out, reach back and pull others up.
There you go. Sir Markadu, you got some final words?
Yeah, I just want to thank God for the opportunity to come before His people again. It's not, I don't do this every day, but I want to just thank everybody on the panel, Gina, Marcella, Shayna. Is it Sheena? Sheena?
It's Sheena.
It's Sheena.
Oh, it
Sheena.
is Sheena. Okay.
Yeah. My daughter's name is spelled like that, Shayna. And you too, Greg. And all the people that listen in, um, I'm at this point where I would give God all that I can give.
Mm.
If I'm reaching out, I mean, I don't even remember the last time I've been on my knees, but I've been on my knees every day since I left Las Vegas.
Mm.
Yeah, I met one of my cousins there, and I want to thank him. His name is Daryl Fur, and he was breathing life into me. He said, "Man, you gotta get on them knees. You gotta ask for forgiveness, and then you gotta ask for help." And that's what I've been doing. I've been asking God for help, help me, help me, help me. And I actually went to church yesterday, and that was the theme of the sermon yesterday. Is
Wow.
the help. Thank you, Father, and help me. And he had us
Amen.
screaming out loud, and I was screaming it. And so I want to thank God for just being in His presence again.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Get
Sheena,
my book. Get
Amen.
my book.
read his
Get
book.
the book.
Yes.
Evangelism, bridging the church, the business community, and grassroots economics. That's right.
That's right.
EconomicEvangelism.com. If you need some help with
Yes.
the funnel, I'll show you how to get some marketing. That's the old book.
That's
But
the old book.
yeah, but we'll get
Mhm.
that doesn't matter. It's still that book relative too. But definitely, if you need help with a funnel, do some marketing, reach out to me as well and put it in the chat, and I'll get back to you.
Let's go. Sheena, what about you?
I always want to give thanks for God giving me grace because I didn't have to be here. But definitely, He wanted me to be here and I had a purpose. I want to continue to thank people that are supporting the brand, my kids that's always supporting me, and they also are my co authors on all my children's books. So I started them early, entrepreneurs. And, I just want to always just give grace because we need it. And I want people to remember that they have a story and don't be afraid to write it. And Greg, you got time. You can write it.
I ain't got
Stop
time.
saying, stop saying you can't. You
I don't have
can.
time. I really
You
don't have time because I'm doing
so
something.
get you a ghostwriter.
Huh?
Get
That's what
you
I
a
said.
ghostwriter.
Ghostwriter.
I can't see
Get
Yeah.
ghosts. How am I supposed to know what he's writing if I can't see him?
That's what.
You
Hey,
got
that's
one
the
get
good
you
next
thing
to
look,
you.
about a
get
ghostwriter.
You
look,
got
get you
one
a
next to
project
you.
look, get you a project manager for your book.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something,
Because
Shayna. I told Gina because Gina knows my entire story, and
mhm.
she said you should write a book. Okay, and I told Gina, "Will you write it?" And Gina does not have time to write my book. So if she don't have time to write it, how the hell do I have time to write it?
So find somebody to write it. There's people out
That's
there.
right.
It's
Excuses, excuses.
Excuses, Sheena.
and look, can't's not in the dictionary, so try again.
Absolutely. I'm just glad you guys came. Oh, I'm sorry, Gina. Go ahead.
Oh, You know what? I just want to say, you guys are a prime example of when you're handed lemons, make lemonade.
Mm.
You know, a lot of people go through what you've gone through and they have not been able to turn it around. They
Mm-hmm.
have not been able to, you know, get the message out there. And you guys are getting your message out there and helping others. That's the
Mm-hmm.
beauty of a book. And that's why we always say write that book, because it's not about you. It's about the people, the individuals that need that help. And sometimes people are afraid to go to others and get help, but they can go pick up your book and say,
Man,
hey, this person went through the
yeah,
same thing I went through, and look at them, look what they're doing, look
yeah,
at how they've turned this around. And
yeah.
so I
Mm-hmm.
thank you guys for doing such a wonderful job.
You're
And
welcome.
it's such a wonderful job that you were awarded the Distinguished Authors
Distinguished
Guild
Authors Guild.
Literary Award.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Oh, what about
Thank
that,
you.
man?
That's
Marcella,
awesome.
Marcella said the Bears 3 is Vikings 0. That's
Now
only
I don't even know
that's
why
not
you
gonna
put
last.
that in there,
It
Marcy. I
ain't gonna
don't
last
know
that
why you
long.
did that.
It's not gonna last that long.
It is.
Oh
Come
no,
on.
girl, please.
It's yeah,
I'm
really.
rooting for the Bears.
I know y'all be having that hope.
We always rooting for the Bears, but who it's just something to do.
Whatever.
Anyway, all right. The Distinguished Authors Guild, man, we are not done celebrating. We're going to be celebrating tomorrow with two more authors. Okay, but today, thank you, Sheena, and thank you, Sir Markadu, for coming on the
Yes.
show and
Yes.
sharing your journey and giving us a glimpse into your life and telling us, hey, write a book. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do something. All right, but tomorrow, I don't know who we have. Gina, do you know?
Tomorrow, we have Jonathan Bowles. He's a children's author of a children first book, his very first book he's ever written. And this young man has a great story to tell, because he was 2 or 3 years in trying to get this book published. The lady that the publisher that he hired to get the books published all of a sudden disappeared, and he was just having a hard time. But we connected him with another author who published books, and within 2 months he got that book published.
Wow.
So I know he's on. There's a couple of others I can't remember right off the top of my head, but they're all award-winning authors.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
that's what we promoting. Everybody's again. We said this earlier. Everybody's a winner. When
Everybody's a
you've written
winner.
that book and finished that book, you're a winner. You've done a job. Okay. The
Everybody's a
award is
winner.
just something that just takes it a step further and says, okay,
Mhm.
in this vast area of award-winning authors, you guys have excelled. You guys have
Yes.
excelled and
Yes.
done your thing. All right. And we appreciate that. And we appreciate you guys coming on the show and hanging out with us
Yeah,
tomorrow.
absolutely.
We'll be
Yes.
back tomorrow with more from the Distinguished Authors Guild and a couple of more winners. So y'all come back and hang out with us and stay tuned, all right? Because we got a lot more coming. All right. This is
Yes.
Dopeliven TV Live. We'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? Peace.
Adios.